Welcome back, trainers. So we're going to be going over Gen 1, 2, and 3 Pokemon that are going to be evolving in Gen 4. Now, I know we went over this before, but this is going to be kind of like a checklist sort of thing, so we can see visually what I have here, and then maybe you can just, follow along to see if you have the same things and candy and all that stuff here. And then after we look at them just like this, then we're going to go into all of them just to see how many I have ready to go. All right, first up is going to be Magneton going into Magnezone. Electric and Steel type. It's going to be okay. I have 782 candies ready to go, so I'm set as far as evolving a whole bunch. I mean, I could evolve a bunch, sure, why not? It's not going to hurt me any. As far as powering him up, it's actually spinning Stardust. I don't think so. Maybe this one here, I might just top it off, but as far as powering up multiple of them, it's not going to be, if you like this Pokemon, okay? I'm not trying to, down talk. I'm just saying there's going to be things that are going to be outperforming it, like, Electivire. On to the next one, we have Lickitung going into Lickalick. It's going to be a fairly defensive Pokemon. As far as offensive, not really. You're going to maybe want to drop this one in a gym. It's funny, I only have 398 candies, which is fairly low. That is crazy. One of the lowest candies I have for any Pokemon. For exception of a few, probably like maybe Miltank and Unknown and, super rare Pokemon. But dang, I didn't realize it was that low, but that's okay because I only need to make one. This one's already fairly, high on the CP end, so it's not going to take much investment. So there's Lickitung. Then we have Rhydon going into Rhyperior. I have two 100s ready to go and three of them powered up. One of them is level 39, this one and the other one are level 40, so I'm completely ready, been ready for this. Rhyperior's stats are insane, guys. It's going to be great as a defensive Pokemon, offensive, it's just going to be amazing. Now, what movesets do I think it's going to have? I'm not going to go over all the movesets for all these because this video will get way too long, but Dig would be good for a defender, 2 charge bar move for 100, fairly slow, but at the same time kind of hard to dodge for the average player. And then for a rock move, it's going to be something which I went over before called Rock Wrecker, which is going to be like a hyper beam for rock moves, like maybe like 150 damage. So if you have partly cloudy weather, it's going to be like doing 190 or something crazy. Those are rough draft numbers, but you get the picture. It's going to be so good, guys. I'm so happy and excited for this one. And thank you, Scarlet Witch, for this right here. What an amazing trade. Ended up with a 98%. So this one is 14, 15, 15. I mean, I have 200s, right? But it doesn't matter. This is lucky. It looks cool. So Rhyperior is going to be amazing. Make sure you have your Rhydons ready to go, which you should. And Niantic actually sets you up without you even knowing if you did some Rhydon raids, okay? If you're like, well, they just put in Rhydon just for the heck of it. I don't think so. I absolutely don't think so. I think they put it there just to set you up for the future for all of this because they knew how big it was going to be. Yeah, and that's my thoughts there. Now you have Tangela going into Tangrowth. Well, this one's going to be a fairly good offensive and defensive Pokemon, more on the defensive side. Attack is going to be around 200, I'm pretty sure. So it's not going to be bad because think about it, Venusaur's attack's like 190 something. But it does have that nice Community Day move to give it the buffer that it needs. Now it just depends on what moveset this is going to get. Nonetheless, still going to be nice to drop in a gym, maybe power up 1 or 2 because it is a funny Pokemon. And, Gen 4 Pokemon, you're going to want to just power some of these up. Now we have Electabuzz going into Electivire, which is not going to be outperforming the best electric attacker in the game. And when I made that video, I should have stated one major important thing, which I didn't, which made me look like, wait, you think Electivire is going to be better than Raikou? Kind of deal, which wasn't the case. It's going to be kind of like something for people who just can't seem to get their hands on a bunch of Raikou. Now, we're going to have those breakthroughs here, but that doesn't mean anything. You can get a good Raikou. That doesn't mean you can power it up. Not everybody has the resources or the means to do so. I mean, it takes tons of legendary raids to get the candies or rare candies. So it's not that hard to come across Electabuzz candies, seeing that they're in the raids. You can do those by yourself. You don't need a big group. some people just don't have all of the support like you do in your city or local area to complete all these raids with legendary Pokemon. So that's where I was going at, okay? It's going to be the second raid type of thing to use. Electivire is going to be amazing. Hopefully it gets a good moveset like Raikou does, right? Now we have Magmar going into Magmortar, which is going to be another great Gen 4 Pokemon. Nintendo was really on fire when they were thinking about Gen 4. They're like, okay, this is the time for all of these other Pokemon that were not so good to bust out of their shells and just show everybody up. Magmortar is going to be awesome. Another cool design. Just in one of those superior looking Pokemon in Gen 4, which I cannot wait for. It's going to outperform quite a few fire types, including maybe Community Day Charizard, but it's not going to be doing better than Moltres or Entei. So keep that in mind. And I was lucky enough to get a lucky. Haha. First EV, let's just say Leafeon. It's going to be okay, but you're going to have another grass attacker in Gen 4, which we will be going over in just a second. That's going to be outperforming it. So of course you're going to want to power up one or two of these, because in an EV evolution, it's just going to be awesome. And it's going to be a fun, cute little Pokemon to have. And so, yeah, hopefully you're ready to go. You shouldn't have a problem with that Community Day coming up. And that's another reason why I think we're going to be getting the stones, is because there's so many evolutions now. Yes, when the Glaceon and Leafeon come out, I'm sure there's going to be some sort of trick at first that you could do one time to get them guaranteed. Or they're going to just release the stones and you can just automatically get what you want when you want. If I'm wrong, then oops. But I mean, if I was over there, I think that's the way it should be ran. Then when you have what did we just go over? Leafeon, Glaceon. It's you know, cool. It's a cute Pokemon, right? It's Glaceon. Let's just say that. Make sure you have candies and you're ready to go. Let's move on to the next. Togetic going into Togekiss, a fairy and flying type. Hopefully they can introduce a new fairy move, although I don't really see it happening quite yet, because they kind of made a lot of fairy moves charge moves. There are several charge fairy moves that should be quick moves. Now, unless they revert that somehow, I don't see Togekiss getting a double fairy move, but hey, we'll have to wait and see on that. Togekiss is going to be pretty good, and I recommend you do not try to trade a bunch of yours in hopes of getting a lucky. I mean, you're your Pokemon, you do what you want. Make sure you hold on to like 3 or 4 of them. And yeah, because Togekiss is going to be amazing. Not only that, but it was one of my favorite Pokemon, and it helped me win several tournaments. Oh, those are the good old days. Now we have Ampipom. Oh my gosh. Now it's going to evolve into a Pokemon that basically has, you know, 2 tails with more udders. And that's about it. I'm pretty sure all of you do have a lot of these candies just sitting around, because, I mean, who's powering this thing up, right? All right, on to Yama, and that's going to be evolving into Yanmega. You guys already know how much I am looking forward to this Pokemon. Now, what is currently the best bug attacker in the game? Think about it. Think about it. We're going to be seeing him possibly in raids, because they are added to the catch raid, and that is Scizor is currently the best bug type. I think this is going to be outperforming it with Bug Bite and Bug Buzz. And yeah, I have many of them ready to go, so expect multiple power-ups from this. Now we have Markrow going into Honchkrow. Now look forward to this one. So if you have a couple good ones, be happy. It's going to definitely be worth powering up for sure. Highly defensive and pretty good on the offensive end as well. So Markrow, yeah buddy, got this 98. And don't you just love that lucky effect with the dark? There's a few lucky Pokemon that just look super nice with the lucky. One being the psychic type, and then you have the dark type as well. Because of that, those black swirls just stick out through that lucky background, as opposed to most Pokemon. You just really can't see anything going on there. Now we have Misdrevious going into Mismagius. Now it's going to look cool. It's not going to be great. Not defensive, not offensive. Sorry. Sorry to the Ghost fans out there. But you know what you do have something to look forward to is if they do drop a shiny Misdrevious, then you can get shiny evolution of that. Okay, so there you go. And we have Gligar going into Gliscor, and that's going to be a fairly defensive Pokemon, and not much else going on for it. It doesn't have offense. It's going to be a gym dropper. It does look amazing. It did use strategy in the main series games, but we're leading right back to this whole thing about Pokemon Go, and there's no real strategy involved yet until they maybe rework everything. So keep that in mind. It's still going to be a nice Pokemon to have. Now we have Sneasel going into Weavile, a glass cannon for sure. What do you want to use it for? Dark or ice? Depends on the moveset Niantic gives it. And it's going to be kind of like a Gengar type of thing, even though Gengar is going to have more attack. But think of Gengar like as a glass cannon. That's what this is going to be like in a sense. And it's going to be amazing. And it also looks great. It's going to be extremely weak to fighting types, but, you know, there's no reason why you'd be going up against fighting types. Unless you just drop it in a gym and then, you know, they shatter it with their Machamps. Now we have Piloswine going into Mamoswine. Now I'm super stacked on these candies. How much do I have for this? Holy, 2,089. I didn't... Wow, that's because of the biome right there. Yep, that's Alaska biome right there. And then we have Piloswine going into Mamoswine, which is going to be the best ice attacker in the game. Yeah. It's going to be the best ice attacker in the game. So make sure you have a bunch of these candies. Yet again, another Pokemon Niantic dropped in raids to get us ready for Gen 4. Now, if you're thinking to yourself at this point, come on. You can't just say every one of these Pokemon that was put in a raid was to get us ready for Gen 4. Yes, I can. And I do think that that's the case. All right, on to Porygon 2. Going into Porygon Z. Now, this is an interesting one. So tell me, what is normal type super effective to? Normal type is only weak against types, which is going to be one type, and that's fighting. It's not super effective to anything. On the other hand, it can learn a move, you know, like this grass move right now. That would be obviously super effective to water, grass, and ground. And Porygon Z's attack is like around 260 something. Outrageous, right? So it's almost making up for that lack of stab if you have one of those moves with that high attack. So hopefully it can receive a good moveset, because it's another one of these Pokemon I used to use in the main series game. And Porygon Z is an absolute funny looking Pokemon, and it's almost like a Digimon. Now on to routes. Male form, of course, it's going to evolve into Curlia and then into Gallade, which is a psychic and fighting type. Is it going to outperform our current fighting Pokemon at the moment? Yeah, a few, depending on the moveset. But I don't want to get too much into details on that. Just make sure you have a few ready, because even if it's not going to outperform all of the fighting current in the game, it's still going to be an amazing Pokemon to have and power up. All right, so make sure you're ready on those, the candies, and you know, I have another bit of advice as well. People, you know, we were talking about Community Day for this, right? They removed it from the 10K. So what does that mean? Maybe we're not going to see it. You know, possibly we will. But I would be wary of this one right here. Okay, guys? You're going to want to maybe evolve a bunch right when it comes out. But who knows? What if they drop a Community Day and then it receives a good move and then you lost all your candies? I don't want to over-prepare. I'm just giving you food for thought. On to Nosepass, which is going to be evolving into Probopass. It's a highly, highly defensive Pokemon. And it is going to be, you know, one of those gym droppers. So make sure you just have a few of them. Maybe you want to evolve it. If you caught a high CP in the wild, but it doesn't have great IVs, don't toss it quite yet. You might just want to evolve it like that and just keep it as is. All right, so Roselia evolving into Roserade. So make sure you have a few of these, which you probably do, even shinies, since Niantic yet again dropping more hints on this Gen 4 stuff, getting us ready for the future. I mean, they could have dropped any shiny. Why this one? Dusclops going into Dusknoir. It's not going to be great. This was a strategy Pokemon in the main series games. You cannot play strategy once again. So don't think you're going to have a Ghost Savior coming in, being the new best Ghost attacker or something, because it's definitely not. Going to be a gym dropper for sure, depending on the moveset. Maybe Shadow Sneak would be cool with Hex or something. Other than that, it's going to be a Dex filler and one of those awesome looking Pokemon. Even maybe walk it as your buddy just because it looks cool. And I have a shiny, so like that works. Last one, right? Now we need a female Snorunt, which is going to be evolving into Frostlass, which is actually a ice and ghost type, and it's not that great as well. The stats are not that good. Just telling you the facts so you don't go into this powering these things up right away. Although if you watch me a lot, you already know which ones you should or shouldn't. And plus, they're your Pokemon. I have a maxed out Persian. I have a maxed out Hitmonchan. I mean, who am I to speak about maxing out things that are not the best? I even encourage it if you love these Pokemon and like them to max them out and use them. Of course, they're not going to be the best, but still do what you want. It's your game, and that's how you have fun, not by powering up legendaries only, right? Or just top tiers. So yeah, simple as that. Female, you're going to have another split evolution. They're just kind of like routes, except with the male. And there you go. Now let's go ahead and look at my game. I kind of just want to go down because this video is getting kind of lengthy, right? So at this point, if you're still sticking around, I'd like to say thank you. And now let's go ahead and get into the Pokemon and see what I have. First one should be Magneton. And that's right there. So there you see I have the one that I showed you. And then this one here. Let's see what the IVs look like. I'm not going to check all the IVs. Simple Amazing Attack. Wow. Because then it's just going to take way too long. Because I have a whole bunch more for every one of these evolutions here. Alright, so that was the first one there. Let's keep on going down. And then the right on. Oh, now this is the one I really want to look at. So here's my 100. Cool. How did I get that? Oh, I caught that in the wild. Interesting. Then this is the one I traded with Scarlet and Rhino Wreck. I've had this for a while. It's definitely not a 100. I powered these up solely because of the gyms back in the day. Wanted to have something that sat on the top of the gyms without getting shaved out. And then we have Rocksteady, which is a 100. Simply Amazing HP, attack, defense. Wow. That came from an egg? It shows a Pokeball because that's what it does if you had it before the update. Whenever they started doing the eggs on there. And then right after that we have Tangela. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 ready to go. Obviously had a bunch more, but I cleaned out my inventory because I thought to myself, there's no need. If I evolve these, I'm going to keep them. Then I have more Pokemon in my storage, so I'm going to limit myself to, 4 there. And as far as Rhyperiors go, I don't care. I'll have 6 of those. Please, I'll take 6 for sure. Then we have Electabuzz, which I obviously would have had a ton of as well. Transferred a few because, well, I only need 3, I'm pretty sure, right? Because Raikou's going to be outperforming it, so there's no need to power up and max out all these. It's just going to take up storage space. I could have simply just swiped over. All right, then we have Magmar, looking good on those. Yeah, looking really good. A lot of 15s in attack. I really like that. That 98 right there, 15, 14, 15. Ooh-wee. I'm really happy about that. And then we're going to have Togetic, which is, well, Togepi first. It's just going to be going into Togekiss after, oh, Togetic, of course. And then there's my 2. This is, I don't think that's a 93. Strong attack. Yeah, that's just what it said when I traded somebody. Let's go ahead and just put it back. We'll keep it starred. Yeah, definitely. We're trying to get our luckies there. And I traded quite a few of those, so And then we're gonna go look at, why do I have 6 of these things? Let me transfer 1. Oh, because they're high. They're high IVs, strong attack. I can definitely transfer that. Let's get rid of it. 4 is even good. I mean, 3 is good. 2 is good for me. All right, then we have the Yama. I am more than ready here. Look at that beautiful one. I got this one from Scarlet. It ended up being 15 in attack. It's funny enough because it turned out better than the lucky one. All right, so we have that and that. So ready, as you can see. Okay. Then we have Markro. Good amount there. Yeah, you're definitely going to want these because Honchkrow is no joke, to be honest. And if you have a shiny one of these, well, congratulations. You're going to have an awesome Honchkrow. And then the Misdevious, I think we don't need to go in there. We can just look at it throughout here. And Gligar. I transferred a bunch, all right. Once I found out all about the stats and everything, transferred into Pokemon Go, I was like, there's no need. 2 should be okay. Not to mention, they'll probably have an increased spawn for these when this event happens, or if we even have this event, right? And then the Sneasel, you know you need a team of those because they're the glass cannons. And then we have the Piloswine, Mamoswine. Oh yeah, ready to go for that. And then the Porygon 2s. I have the regular Porygons. Next one is going to be Ralts. So I have Leia, which is a female. No, I'm not going to touch that. This is 100%. Simply amazing HP, attack, defense. Wowie wow, 100, ready to go. That have a male, 76. And then what? Wow, that's crazy. They're both 76. That's pretty interesting. And this one right here is like level 32. Man, that's pretty nice. I'm happy about that. No need to check it. And then I have the lucky one, which is going to cost less Stardust. So perfect. I'm set to go. All ready to go. And then we have the 2 Nosepass. Meh. And then the Roserade. I cleaned out my inventory. I had about 20 of them. Because I knew how good it's going to be. So I'm stacking them up. Dusclops, I have 2 of them. And then the Duskull 96. Pretty neat. So Gen 4, there you go. And then you have Frostlast for the Snorunt. Finally, female form, okay? Hope you enjoyed that video, and I will be catching you all next time. Take care.